You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Big Brother After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Big Brother After Show.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and today we're doing a special edition of Big Brother Season 15. I'm your host, Ryan Allen Carrillo, and I'm here with the newly single and beautiful, gorgeous Ashley Iocco.
Hey, what's up everyone?
How you doing, Ashley?
Very good.
You're looking beautiful. Is this the
Thank
new
you.
single you?
Yeah, it's the single glow.
If anyone's wanting a date with Ashley, go ahead and hit her up on Twitter at Ashley Iocco, and we'll be taking applications today. You must have a job, good credit, and be over 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'2", perfect.
6'2". So go ahead and sign up today.
Yeah.
So we have a very exciting show for y'all today, and it's going to be a little bit crazy because all of our guests, they're not actually in the studio. They're going to be calling in. We have Andy, Big Brother winner, first gay winner. We have
Pretty
Aaryn,
exciting.
very controversial player as well. Kaitlin Barnaby.
The most beautiful, I think.
She's gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
She's a very, very beautiful girl, so she'll be calling in. We also have Jeremy, also a
Yes.
beautiful man.
Yeah, they were a stunning couple.
Maybe you should date him, because
No,
he only
no.
dates like Big Brother alums, I think. So maybe
Oh,
you.
okay, does he?
Yeah, well, Kaitlin, and then we'll have to talk about that with them on the line. And then we have Liza calling in from Big Brother Canada to give us a full report of what went on in Vegas. And
Nice.
do we already have someone on the line? Oh, okay. So yeah, so that's what's going on today. So we've gotten a lot of response from you guys on Twitter, good
We love
and
it.
bad. And a lot of the house guests seem to be a little afraid to do our show. I think they think we're like the Bill O'Reilly of AfterBuzz TV.
Please, it's positive. We're doing damage control today.
Exactly. This is a Big Brother after show. We, of course, want to talk to everybody. We're going to ask hard questions because that's what we do here. But we're going to be very respectful. I mean, we're a very respectful show. It is what it is. And, we're going to give everyone the chance to say what they have to say. You make your own opinion up about it after the show, but don't, count us out till you hear what we have to say.
Yeah.
So that's my tea. And also, a lot of you guys are just in general think that we're like, the Rachel Riley, Elizabeth Riley, after show.
Fan club,
Well, let's
yes.
all just say this to clear the air. We're friends with Rachel, and I adore her, and I think she's great, and she's crazy and everything too. I say that in a good way. But I view Big Brother like watching sports. I don't know if you watch sports, because I certainly don't watch sports.
No,
but
not
it's like
really.
it's Big Brother's like a sports team. You're rooting for your player. So clearly we were rooting for Elissa, but just because she didn't win, we bashed the other players and everything else, but we still love the game.
Of course.
So
And
that's-
I mean, we're always going to talk about what's going on. So, with all the house guests.
Perfect. Hey, do we have Andy on the line?
Hi.
Hey, Andy. Welcome to AfterBuzz
Can you hear
TV.
me?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us?
Yes, definitely I can. Yes.
Well,
Cool.
fantastic. Thanks for coming in and doing our show. We think you're a stand-up
Oh,
guy.
it's my pleasure. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of course. So, congratulations, of course, on being the first gay winner of Big Brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I mean, there's been so much talk on your Twitter and everything about how much you've been drinking since you've won. So, like, are you drunk right
true.
now, or what's going on?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little bit buzzed. I had two friends
Stop.
come in and want to take me to brunch, and so I'm not drunk per se, but I have definitely had a few spirits this afternoon.
Which one of your friends was running your Twitter while you were in the house? Because they were a little sassy. You're very sassy on Twitter too. Just some of your last few tweets that I read. It said, "I just wiped my ass with a $100 bill.
Oh my God.
I'm watching the show. Not only was I the best player this season, I was also the cutest." Who was running
I'm
your?
not gonna lie to you. It's become one of my favorite things to just enrage everyone on Twitter, and so I've just posted those things just basically to be an asshole. And so I am not that cocky in real life, I swear. But it's just like the people on Twitter can be so crazy, and I just think it's very funny sometimes the reactions that they have to things.
Yeah, you just
good attitude.
Who was running your grind?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I'm not like this cocky bastard that I look like on Twitter in real life. I mean, as you could probably see on the show, I was like the least. I basically every move that I made, I never wanted anyone to even know I was making it, and so that's pretty much how I am in real life.
Who was running running your grinder while you were out of town?
I mean, because I knew that my grinder was just going to blow up so hardcore. I had to get rid of it while I was
That's
out,
awesome.
which is devastating, I know.
Well, speaking.
Don't worry, I have it again, and all is well.
Well, perfect. Well, speaking of grinder, this is one serious question that I really had to ask, and like I wouldn't be like a good reporter without asking. But like, how does a gay man not jerk off for 90 days?
I'm not gonna lie to you. My head was so in the game. I mean, I know I haven't seen any of the show yet, but basically everyone has been telling me that I'm non-existent for like half the season, and that's exactly how I wanted it. I was always calculating these moves and getting other people to do them, and so basically the fact that I never shut my brain off, I honestly like never really even had a desire to jerk off while I was. I mean, okay, that's a lie. But it was never that big of a deal. Like, I never thought that I was gonna like go crazy from not doing it.
Well, I didn't expect such a detailed answer, but there we go.
Yeah.
I know some of my house guests did.
There were times there were times where you would think about it, but I was also just like, I'm a teacher. I really do not want there to be like a jerk off video of me online or something.
You're a professor.
Well, speaking of jerk off videos, last week Nick was in the studio with us, Nick from your season, and you guys.
Best transition I've ever heard.
I know. Well, the reason why is because there was so much chatter online that he was watching you in the shower, and you guys were like kind of had like a little. We thought there was gonna be the first guy on guy showmance on the show, and we were like wondering what was going on with that. And his response was that he was in a fraternity and he drinks in the shower. He's always running around naked.
Don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. Nick was very flirtatious towards me in the house, and it wasn't even me that like. I noticed it, but a lot of people verified it. Like people would come up to me and just be like Amanda would notice like him talking to me while I was in the shower, or him like calling me over while he was in the shower, and she would be like, didn't that seem kind of gay to you? And I was just like, thank you for noticing this. Yes, yes, yes.
Well, he did like to drink his beers in the shower.
What?
He liked to drink his beers in the shower.
He did, apparently, which, I mean, more power to him. That's wonderful. But he also, for some reason, liked to talk to me while he was doing it. So I don't know what that was. But, I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought Nick was extremely attractive, so I was always very obliged to, like, talk to him when he wanted to if he was naked in the shower,
I'd be watching too. So
you have such a good vocabulary. Sorry, I just had to say that.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm a teacher. I feel I have a public speaking teacher. I kind of have to, although I've been really mad at myself. In like the clips that I've seen from the show, I feel like I say like all the time, and I'm irritated that I do that because I try to teach my students not to.
I do that too. I think it's a gay thing. I think
never
it's a gay
noticed
thing.
it.
So talking about your job, there was, the day that you won, actually, your where you work, they came out with a statement saying that you work for them, but technically you didn't work for them anyway. So what's the status with your job? Have you actually talked to them now since then, or what's?
They were very clever in their use of semantics in that wording, because basically. I mean, I have not actually talked to the school yet because I've been so busy doing other things, but I've talked to a couple coworkers who are very close to me, and they've said, like, basically, you're fine, I mean, because I was not, I'm adjunct, and so I technically work semester by semester, and so I was not employed by them while I was on the show, technically, because I took the summer and the fall off. And so I'm nearly positive that, and don't quote me on this because I haven't actually talked to the school yet, but based on what I have heard, I will be back in January.
At the finale, did you feel a little ambushed by the press because you guys step out of the house, you really have no idea what has gone on in the real world with everything?
They debriefed us a little bit. I mean, I feel like I won, and they instantly pulled me into a room, and they were like, "Everyone's racist. Be ready for questions." And I was just like, "Oh, what?"
Who said that?
And so, I mean, they did not say it like that, but they told me. I mean, they told me about the controversy. They told me everything, and they were just like, "You weren't really." They were like. If people claim that you were saying racist and bigoted things, like, it's kind of a stretch because you really didn't. But they were like, be ready for questions about it. It's like people will want to talk about your win, but they're actually really going to want to talk about the other controversial things in the house as opposed to your win.
Right.
Because basically no one even really knows who you are because you never made like a huge impact on the house.
So talking about, some of the racists, and, we can't obviously have an interview without discussing that with your season.
Oh, for sure.
But, you were privy to the conversations where a lot of that took place, as well as, some of the homophobic remarks. And I read in some of your interviews that you you know, you're playing the game, so you didn't want to stand out and really stand up for that. But do you think that's sort of how it happens in real life too? Like people don't actually stand up for bullying, and they sort of take. What's your thoughts on that?
I can't speak for other people, but I mean, I do definitely think that a lot of times people can be scared to stand up for it. I know in real life I am someone who will definitely stand up for it, which is why it was hard for me to be like so low key in the house about it. But I mean, I really would try to convey to the people that the comments were said about that I did not condone them, and that most of the house also did not condone them. Like I remember there was one afternoon where Jeremy said something, and I don't even remember what it was, about African people right in front of Howard. And Howard, I could tell, got visibly upset and walked inside. And so I just followed Howard inside, and I was like, Howard, just to let you know, I heard that comment, and I think it's really shitty. And believe me, I think everyone kind of thinks that. And so basically my big thing was Jeremy. Whenever people would get pissed at Jeremy, I would just be like, just bite your tongue, don't yell at him, and it's going to feel really awesome when he walks out the door in a week or two, you know, because he's going to if he keeps acting like this. And he did.
What do you think was the deal with the house this year? Because, you know, clearly a lot of people say these sort of things in the privacy of their own home. I mean, if anything that's taught us about is this year with the Paula Deen scandal and like a lot of the George Zimmerman, like racism is a hot button. Like, what made you think what made you think that the house guests just were so privy to just say this and like forget they're even on a television show?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that the news that was going on throughout the nation definitely heightened it because this was such a hot topic. But I also think that, I mean, I'll be real with you. While we were in the house, I never really felt like, because so many people have asked me what I felt like being in such a hostile environment, and it never felt like that. And I think most cast members will tell you that. It didn't feel like I was in this racist, homophobic, bigoted environment. I mean, I definitely heard some of these comments that Aaryn said and was just like, you're an idiot. You need to stop saying things like that. But at the same time, it wasn't like it totally ruined everyone's experience in the house. I feel like we were all very surprised. When we learned just what a big deal was made of everything. And a lot of the comments, like Spencer and Amanda, I know, have gotten a lot of flack for calling me a fag. And basically, their calling me a fag was coming from like a place of love almost. And I wish that people knew that. I mean, it was to my face, and it was once they were really close with me and they knew that it would not offend me. You know?
And I understand that. You know, being a gay guy too, you know, I have some of my straight friends and we go back and forth with each other. But speaking of Spencer and some of his remarks too, I mean, I'm sure you found out that the FBI investigated him for saying comments about child porn, and you know, he did say some like remarks. I mean, it's never smart to talk about Adolf Hitler, period, at a dinner party or on camera. So what do you think was up with that? Because you've said that, you know, Spencer doesn't have a mean bone in his body. So is he just not the brightest guy on the planet, or like what?
I mean, I think that Spencer just kind of forgot that the cameras were there. I think that Spencer has a very racy sense of humor and a very kind of cutting, or I shouldn't say cutting edge because that makes it sound smarter than it is. But he has a very like envelope pushing sense of humor.
Right.
And he would go places with his humor that a lot of people probably are not okay with. You know what I mean?
Right.
I almost think I was kind of a perpetuator of that for him because I'm the least offendable person on the face of the earth.
Right.
And so he knew that he could make these jokes around me and to me, and they would not offend me. And so, I mean, I think if it would have been a final three of like Spencer, Gina Marie, and Candace, or Helen, or Elissa, or someone who wasn't as crass, I think that he would not have said a lot of the things that he did. But since I was there, he knew he could joke with me and it would be okay. And as a result, he definitely got some slack.
Would you describe your sense of humor as like a mean girl sense of humor, kind of? Like, 'cause, you know, some gay guys, you know, I'm wrong all the time with my sense of humor. I say the most ridiculous things all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that describes you?
I feel like I was toned down in the house. Like, my sense of humor is vile, like disgusting, filthy, awful, obscene. And so, for the most part, I knew that I was being filmed, and I knew that I could not say those things. Right. Except when I got kind of drunk, I feel like I've seen clips online when I'm just like, oh my God, like some of those like really gross like sex stuff that I would say. But what?
No, we're just laughing at you.
Oh yeah, and so I mean, some of that stuff is really filthy and awful. But at the same time, if you watch those clips, I mean, anyone who knows me, when I say that I walked on Elissa masturbating numerous times. I mean, everyone knows that I'm joking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Ryan does that a lot.
People on the internet did not know that was a joke. And I feel like if you look at like comments, people just like, Elissa was not doing that. Andy's a liar.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Like, I'm surprised you guys.
Yeah, people get crazy.
Yeah, with how you guys are such big fans of the show, because I know that you and even Aaryn and Spencer and a couple others were huge fans and would still talk the way you did, but I guess, you know, you don't know.
Well, I would say the reason why he's talking the way is because that's how you are in real
In real
life.
life. Yeah, that's why they casted you.
And I really do think in real life I'm a person who has a very good heart, but I have a very weird, twisted sense of humor. And so you definitely get to see tinges of that when I was drunk, for sure.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about Elissa for a minute because, you know, I'm sure a lot of your comments that you get like online and Twitter is with Elissa. And
this honestly breaks my heart because I feel like I go back and I see like little clips of me and Elissa, and Elissa and I had like the best relationship for a long time in the house. I mean, you can look and like we had really fun banter back and forth. Like Elissa really liked me and I really liked Elissa. But then Elissa, I guess no one will understand how much emotions are heightened unless you're in the house. Like, Ashley, you can probably attest to this.
Yeah, remember you were talking about me, how I was crying all the time?
What?
No, one time I was watching the feeds and you were like, it's talking about how I cried all the time. But it was like, that's why. It's crazy in there.
Yeah. And so, but here's the thing. Elissa started to get on to me. Elissa totally knew that I was, like, not that trustworthy. And so it was frustrating to me because I could sweet talk my way out of anything, but I could not sweet talk my way with her. Like, she was very staunch in like how she felt and what she did, and it started to drive me crazy. And I like started to hate her as a result. I was just like, I can't win her over. She's driving me nuts. If she gets power, I'm going to be evicted. You know, and like I was so invested in the game that I started to just really resent her as a result. And so once she left, the emotions just get like higher and higher and higher, and I just really started to hate her after she left. And I said like some really terrible things that I don't like, that I instantly regretted. The minute that I saw her at the finale and she was smiling and being like the Elissa that I loved for 3/4 of the season, I felt terrible about all the things I said, and I was just like, it's a game. The game got to me, and I was like a shitty person for a while, hating Elissa because I do not hate Elissa. You know what I'm saying? And I did it from a game standpoint, and as a result, I got kind of ugly and personal. And like I said, I instantly felt so bad because for so much of the season, I had such a good relationship with her, and I felt like I tainted it at the end. It made me really sad and like upset with myself, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
She was in here last week, and she said that, you know, you guys talked at the finale, but you guys haven't talked since because she wasn't like ready.
Yeah.
So like, what's your status now? Are you going to reach out to her? Are you going to let some time go by? Like, what are you thinking?
I've tried, and I think the ball is in her court. You know, and I mean, I hope that she knows that I really did, for the most part, love my time with her while I was in the house. And I mean, I think if you go back and watch any of the feeds from before she started to kind of turn on me, you will see what a good relationship we had. I mean, at times, like, I definitely thought she was, like, frustrating, but still, like, I laughed with her, I joked with her, I liked her. You know, I didn't hate her like I did towards the end. And I mean, I would very much like to rekindle that relationship because we're not playing the game anymore. And in real life, I would like to be good friends with Elissa.
Right.
You know?
Well, hopefully it all works out for you guys because, you know, the Twitter people were not going to be pleased until the Brenchel army and, you know, the talking about her son. Like, people just were not pleased with all of that at all.
Here's the thing. I would like to clear that up.
Go ahead.
I have not seen the clip of what I said about her son. But all that I was trying to imply was the paintings that she received, there was, like, her son's name was written on the back, and it said, like, K5 or something, or KS. And so what I was implying was, I thought they were like older paintings. I was like, I thought her son was 8. Why is she getting paintings from him from like kindergarten or from a while ago? And I feel like people were implying that I was like saying bad things about her son, and I really like, did not mean to. I mean, like at least that's how I'm looking back on it. That was like my train of thought. And if I'm incorrect in thinking that, I apologize. But I did not, because I actually was very. I never really wanted to talk about people's families or people's loved ones because I was like, we don't know them. They're not here to defend themselves.
Right.
And so when people would make comments about like Elissa's husband or you know things like that, or like people's girlfriends, things like that, I always kind of bit my tongue and didn't say anything because I was like, we don't know these people, you know.
Right.
And so when I heard that people were like a buzz about what I said about Elissa's son, I was kind of surprised. And I mean, maybe I like blacked out and did say something mean and don't remember, but I really don't think I did.
Right. Okay. Well, we heard it from you. So how much of the season have you seen so far? Because obviously it's a big commitment to sit down and watch all the episodes. I read on Twitter that you saw the double eviction. That was like one of the first things that you saw. But like, have you gone back and watched much of it?
I've only seen bits and pieces. I've seen the finale. I've seen the clip show. I've seen the double eviction. And I've seen a little bit of the first episode. And that's about it. I mean, this experience was very, very taxing on me, and very emotional for me. And so I started, like, even when I watched the finale and stuff, I didn't really enjoy it. It brought back a lot of, like, harsh memories. And so I think, I mean, and don't get me wrong, like I loved being there, but at the same time, like it was very taxing, like I said. And so I am not really ready yet. I feel like I want to kind of distance myself a little bit.
For
and then I'll
sure.
go back
You need
and
a
watch
little
it.
break. It's like mental health.
Ashley, you haven't watched your season yet, have you?
It
No.
totally is.
It's so funny. None of us have watched our respective shows either.
It's too much.
Yeah,
I watched
no,
one episode. I'm like, I can't watch myself.
Yeah, it's like we need to
It
be.
really is. It's totally taxing. And so, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm an egomaniac and will love watching myself on TV when I'm ready. But for now, I just basically, once the show was over, a lot of people went to Vegas, a lot of people did this and that. I just wanted to come home. I was like, I miss my friends and family so much. I cannot wait to be back in Chicago.
Yeah.
And
Please.
reliving the show and watching the show has been the last thing on my mind.
The internet's enough. You get your fill through that.
Hey, Andy, we have a question.
And I mean, oh, sorry, what?
We have a question from you from our chat room, people online. Someone wants to know, do you admit that Amanda was a huge reason that you and McRae stayed in the game by friending Aaryn? Not really sure.
Oh, yeah, Amanda's friendship with Aaryn?
Yes.
Is that what they're saying? Like, yeah, oh, for sure. But I also think, I think Amanda definitely did more than I did. I think Amanda really did strengthen that relationship with Aaryn. But I had my hooks in Aaryn as well. I would consistently, because Aaryn, I feel like Aaryn and Elissa kind of switched roles. At the very beginning, Elissa was like poison in the house. Like, if you talked to Elissa, it was trouble. Like, people didn't want you talking to Elissa. And that's kind of why me and Helen got kind of on the, like, kind of got in trouble, because we were like, we're going to talk to Elissa. We like Elissa, you know?
Right.
And then once Aaron's friends all started to leave, Aaryn kind of turned into the Elissa. And people were like, don't talk to Aaryn. You know, leave her alone. She's not going to stay very long. And I would always go up to Aaryn if she was alone in the kitchen or in the bathroom, and I would be like, just so you know, I'm glad that you're here. Like, don't think that you don't have a friend in me. You know, and so I tried to, like, plant the seeds as well. But I do think that Amanda did a better job than I did.
Right.
But I also think that I could have roped her in as well.
Right. Well, the other thing is, if you were the Amanda of the show, where she was like, you know, coming in, you know, hot, basically, I mean, you'd have been gone.
Exactly.
So it's like you have to adapt and do that dance of what you have to do.
And if you ask Helen and Amanda got a lot of the credit, but I was kind of behind the scenes pulling the strings. I mean, I ran into Helen yesterday, and she was telling me, she was just like, I've been giving you credit, Andy. She was like, I came to you with every decision that I wanted to make, and you had to, like, give it a go or not. And when I told her no, she wouldn't do it. And when I told her yes, she would. And Amanda was kind of the same way, in the sense that if I would have wanted to get Amanda out, I could have, because everyone who wanted to flip the house would come to, like, if I would say nearly 5 or 6 people at some point wanted to flip the house on Amanda, and they would always come to me because they had no idea I was so close with her, and they would tell me, hey, I want to flip the house on Amanda, and then I would go and tell Amanda, and that person would go home, you know? And I feel like I was a very big reason why Amanda stayed in the game.
Well, perfect. All right. Well, we want to play a quick little game with you. It's called Rapid Fire. I'm going to name off some of the house guests, and I want you to give me one word that describes them, like, really quickly.
Oh, my God.
All right.
This is going to get me in trouble. Okay.
Candace.
Ridiculous.
David. Forgetful. This is supposed to be a quick game.
Okay.
Go on, get your vocabulary.
David.
I said dumb.
Oh. Helen.
Helen?
Yes.
Lovely.
Jeremy.
Egotistical.
Howard.
Quiet.
Aaryn.
Misunderstood.
Amanda.
Good one.
Amanda. Oh my God, I have 90 million things I want to say about Amanda. Amanda is, oh my God, Amanda is
Can't think of a word.
confusing.
Confusing. Nick.
Yeah. Nick is slimy.
Oh, and finally, Elissa.
Elissa is my friend. Like Elissa is. I'm trying to think of. Okay. Oh my God. I know that. I'm sorry that I suck on this one too.
You really do.
Elissa is unusual. Is how I would put it. I've never met someone like Elissa. I would say that that's a fair way to describe her.
Perfect.
Okay. Oh, did you go to lunch with Helen?
I did not go to lunch with Helen, but I ran into Helen.
Oh, okay.
Helen texted me that she was at a shoe store in Chicago that I was around the corner from. And so I was like, stay there, I'm going to come and say hi to you.
Nice.
And then she actually went to Michael's, the craft store, and I ran into her at Michael's. And so we chatted in Michael's for a little
Random.
bit.
Well, thanks for calling in. We appreciate you. See, there's nothing to be nervous about.
Well, I'm sorry, what?
So there was nothing to be nervous about.
Oh. Yeah.
Well,
I know, but I just, like, because I knew that, like, I've like watched some of your shows and stuff, and I knew that you guys were so close with the Rileys that I was like, oh God, like after the stuff that I've said, I know that like I'm probably gonna get grilled about it, but I just like I want to set the record straight that
Yeah, it's
outside
damage
of the
control.
game, I have no beef with anybody, and I really regret the way that I got so like vengeful and hateful towards the end. But the game was just starting to get to me so hardcore.
Yeah, it does. It's hard in there.
Final question. Someone online just asked if you've ever eaten a thermometer. I don't even know what that means.
If I've ever eaten a thermometer?
A Terminator.
A Terminator.
Sandwich.
A Terminator. I thought it was a thermometer. Never mind. I can't read what they're
Andy, it
saying.
was a pleasure.
Thank you so much for
Thank
calling
you,
in,
guys.
and don't spend all your money on booze.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
You should be getting free drinks at this point anyways.
We'll see you on
Oh, no,
Twitter.
that's the thing. I've been spending like this is why I've turned into such a degenerate. Everywhere I go, people are showering me with free alcohol, and I'm just like, do you understand that I can afford it now? You don't have to give me free drinks.
Oh my
But
God.
I mean, I'm not going to tell them no.
Well, perfect. Well, we look forward to meeting you eventually someday, and good luck with
Cool.
everything.
Yeah.
All right, take it easy.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you go. That was Andy, winner of Big Brother.
I wanted to know
Had
what
a
he was
lot to
going
say.
to use the money on.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
that's
I read
always, like,
online
the
that he's
question.
going to go to Paris, that he's going to
Oh,
go
I
on a
would
trip
too.
to Paris. And, like, he doesn't come from money at all. So I guess we
Good
will
for
see.
him.
All right. So that was,
Gay pride. Woo!
yeah, working it out. So I think we're going to get our next guest on the line, Aaryn. Such a busy day. It's getting, like, hot
Oh
in
my
here.
God.
It's getting stressful.
My face is red.
I know. Oh God! So if you guys have questions, log online, AfterBuzzTV.com. Log on to the chat where you can log on with your Twitter account or just set up an account and just ask your questions. And we have Steven in here screening them the best as possible because y'all are crazy.
So we love you.
What?
Oh no, Rose.
Hey,
oh,
girl.
Aaron's on the line.
What?
Aaron.
Hey.
Hey, how are you? Welcome to AfterBuzz. You're on air with Ryan and Ashley. How you doing today?
Awesome. I'm good. How are you?
We're fantastic. Well, thanks for calling in. You know, there's so much to discuss. We just got off the line with Andy, the winner from your season. And, you know, the same questions I asked him, I'm going to ask you from the start. Like, how much of the season have you actually watched so far? I know it's kind of overwhelming because it's on, there's so much footage.
Yeah, it's super overwhelming, especially for me. I mean, I've only seen about 5 episodes and my eviction.
Right after the finale, because I was at the finale, how overwhelmed were you when you stepped out of the house? Because obviously you're kind of in a bubble. You maybe got a couple clues from Julie, and maybe when you stepped out in the audience and you didn't get like the warm welcome that you maybe thought you were going to get. How crazy was it when you actually, because I've sort of felt like the press ambushed you because they knew that you guys were in that sort of position. And I saw some of the interviews, like there was an interview where I think, I want to say Inside Edition, but I don't think that's right, asking you about your job, and like you seemed a little caught off guard. How did that feel?
It's hilarious to me that everyone thinks that it's so crazy that I quote unquote lost my job because I'm a college student and I had an agency, but I mean that was not giving me like a serious source of income.
Right.
That was kind of just something that I was doing on the side. So when they made it into this huge thing about me losing my job, it's just, I mean, I wasn't even thinking about my job when I came out of the house, you know? So
Right.
I was totally caught off guard.
Did you feel ambushed by the press at all, or did you feel it was fair, or like looking back at that situation, or did you feel the producers maybe should have prepped you guys a little bit more when you left the house and like set you guys up? Like,
They did prep us, but it was an ambush, and I did not sleep at all that night because it was so overwhelming. I was just in shock.
right. When you first were evicted out of the house and you had your sit down with Julie, my first thought was like, I wonder what happened right when you got up from the chair, and like, because you seemed completely caught off guard right there too, and like a little like you were trying to think back, when did I say these things, and like trying to remember everything because it's obviously been a long period of time. Like, what happened right when you got up from the chair? Where did you go? Like, what were you thinking, and like, how did that work out for you?
Well, I mean, I was just heartbroken, and I just felt horrible, and I felt like the most horrible person in the entire world, and I didn't feel like worthy of even being there or even talking to a lot of the handlers, and I don't know, like it was the most horrible feeling that I've ever had in my entire life.
Right.
And I just went into like a holding room, and I just kind of had a breakdown, and I lost it, and I just was, you know, I was very depressed for about 2 weeks, and it took me a long time to even get up the strength to talk about it.
How's your reaction been now? Obviously, some time has passed, and you know, I think America loves, you know, a redemption story. So you're in a unique opportunity where you can actually turn this around and get the public back? Because I mean, what's the percentage-wise of the reaction to you on Twitter? Like, how many people are, you know, against you? How many people are supporting you? Like, where do you think the percentages sort of lie?
Well, sometimes it seems 50-50, but I've got a lot of love, too.
Yeah, you have a lot of
and
fans.
It's just kind of, if I go on, what was that?
You have a lot of fans.
Yeah, I do. They're amazing. And it seems like when I go on my, like, feeds with my Twitter followers, well, I guess not my followers, but just the people who are talking to me on Twitter, there's so many of them that are nice, and there's a lot of hate, too. And it seems like it's almost every other comment is positive and negative. So I guess it would be 50-50.
Looking back at some of this, the stuff that happened in the house too, you know, I read on Team Z, I don't know if you did even an interview with them or if this is just hearsay or whatever, but it said that you were working on your racist demons. Did you do an interview with them, or like, where does that even come from?
I never said that. They used maybe one sentence that I said in that entire article. I was absolutely horrified when I read that. I said none of those things.
Right.
Really?
I wasn't really sure. What exactly?
The only thing in there that I said was about how I felt bad about what I said about Texas.
Blaming Texas.
The only thing.
What exactly? What was that all about? You were sort of blaming Texas for as maybe an excuse. That's how you guys.
I was just kind of referring to the way people talk back home, and I never should have done that. That was just a huge mistake because it does not represent Texas at all.
So what do you think, you know, I just asked this of Andy too, because, you know, this season there was obviously so many comments, so many people were saying so many things, other than any other season. Did you guys just feel like there were no cameras on you? Were you not thinking anyone was watching? Like, you know, Spencer you know, was saying stuff about, you know, Adolf Hitler and child porn. The FBI investigated him and like raided his house while you guys were all in the house. Like, what was going on in that house that made people feel so comfortable?
I think that Big Brother did a good job of casting people who have no filter, to be honest, because I've always had that issue with just not filtering myself and not watching what I say. And I've never had a lot of people really react to things that I say in an extreme way, so I've never really had to think before I spoke.
Right, but did you just forget that cameras were on you 24 hours?
After about the first week of live feeds, what was going through my head was, nobody's watching this. Like, nobody really cares. Yeah. And I was so wrong.
What was, you know, there's another thing on TMZ, not that TMZ is our #1 news source here, but there was a picture of you with a African-American that you went to prom with or something like that, and he was defending you. What's the story with that?
Yeah, that was sweet.
Oh, yeah, that was my prom date. He was on the football team, and I was a cheerleader, so naturally, we went to prom together, and he's still one of my great, great friends, and I see him every time I'm in Colorado.
Another thing I wanted to ask you too, you know, a lot of, you know, celebrities, when this sort of thing happens to them, they have a PR team that goes into overdrive, and they're working on like their image to try to fix them. Like, and you're just, you know, quote unquote, a normal girl just out of a house, young, and like trying to figure out what to do in the world. What are you going to do to try to turn this around and to prove actually that you're not a racist, and B, that you have changed? Like, what are you going to do? Or have you even thought about what you're going to do?
I have thought about it, and I know that everybody is really crazy over me saying that I might write a book, but honestly, if I do that, it's just going to be to teach people how to avoid what happened to me.
Right.
Because it's actually a big deal. Like, people making racist comments happens every single day, all the time.
Right.
And what happened to me, I think, could be a huge lesson to people, especially my fans and people everywhere who, you know, might say that type of thing and not realize the impact it has.
Well, like I said, America loves a redemption story, and I think you can turn this around. I think as long as you are 100% you, and you're 100% honest, like, and just spill like your guts, I think people respect that. I think if America feels that you're holding back, or if you're not really making the right decisions, or do something like sort of quote unquote shady in the recent time, like, that's going to really hurt you. But I think that you have a great opportunity here to, you know, change some other people's lives, change some perspectives, and grow as a person. Like, you're just, how old are you again?
I just turned 23 in the jury house.
Yeah, you're
happy birthday.
You're just a baby.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, we can talk about some lighter issues too. One thing I read on your Twitter is that you went and got your eyebrows fixed. What was going on with your eyebrows? Like, what? I mean, your eyebrows almost had its own Twitter account.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so before I went into the house, I had them waxed, and the girl waxed off all of my eyebrows. Then while I was in the house and I was trying to, like, you know, do a little bit of damage control, I chopped off half of my eyebrow. So I've been battling my eyebrows for the whole summer. And so my mom, I got home and she's like, okay, you have an appointment. We're fixing this. And they are amazing now. So thanks, America.
Nice. Are you good? You're close with your mom, right? Because a lot of like controversy was going on about HOH letters.
Yeah, we're very close, but my mom did not write me HOH letters because she didn't want to be publicly, I don't know, she just didn't really want the attention.
Right.
And she didn't want to sign all the releases.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Speaking of HOH, what was your favorite competition that you were really, really great at the competitions in the house. What was your favorite competition that you got to play this season?
Oh, wow. They were all so fun. I can't think of just one. I really liked the mud one where we were getting the votes. That one was really cool because it was really exciting opening the little packages to see what number you got.
Awesome.
Although I didn't win, it was still really fun.
You won a lot of comps though. Were you upset when a lot of people were talking about the whole Adderall scandal?
Yeah,
Did
what was with
upset
that?
you?
I was upset about it, but I do understand. I mean, Adderall's a hot commodity. Everybody wants Adderall. So, I mean, sorry that it's prescribed to me. I don't know what to say.
But Adderall doesn't give you superhuman strength. It's not like it's steroids.
Right, right.
No,
I
and
know.
for me, it just makes me normal.
Well,
Okay.
perfect. Hey, so another game question for you too. If you think Elissa had put Amanda McRae up instead of you, how much do you think that would have changed the outcome of the game?
Oh my gosh, a lot. It would have changed the game a lot. I mean, Elissa probably would not have been evicted when she was because I would have worked with her.
Right.
So, and I called it right before I walked out the door. You know, I told them Andy is going to go to the end and he's going to win. This is your worst mistake is evicting me instead of Andy this week.
How was life in the jury house with everybody?
Yeah, were people talking about what was going on outside the house? Like, were things getting leaked in the jury house?
Not really. Nothing was really leaked in the jury house. We were just having a really good time. It was all girls, and we were laying by the pool. We had a big theater. We were cooking and working out, and it was so much fun. We had to work off all the weight that we gained in the house because, let me tell
Yeah.
you, you can eat whatever you want in that house, and it's always stocked full of goodies.
Looking
I
back
feel
at-
you on that.
Looking back at your game, what do you think was your biggest mistake in the game, speaking strictly about gameplay? Like, what do you think was your downfall?
My downfall, I just showed all my cards all the time, and I tried to help other people out with their game. And I just didn't really focus on what was best for game 100% of the time. I focused sometimes more on social things or who I got along with better over, like, who would be strategically better to work with.
Do you think because you sort of, in the beginning of the game, you know, was the quote-unquote, like, mean girl of the house, that you had to spend the rest of the time in the house, like, doing damage control and, like, sort of taking a back seat because almost being punished for being the mean girl in the beginning?
Yeah, and the reason that I was a mean girl in the beginning is because I felt like it was me and David against everyone else. So when he left, I freaking lost it because I lost my only friend in the house, and I felt like I was always trying to defend myself, and I always felt uncomfortable, and so it made me mean, you know, I'll admit that. So yeah, I had to do damage control a lot, but that also helped me in the game because it made me laugh.
Right. So speaking of life, like, outside of the house, you know, Twitter is completely buzzing of what went on in Vegas with Liza from Big Brother Canada. Let's clear the record here and get your version of what happened because, you know, it's all over the place. Like, what is the deal with her?
Okay, her showman, Peter, is the one who invited me out. So he was kind of like hosting me and making sure I was okay, and like we were pretty close, like we're really good friends. And I think that she was a little bit jealous of that, and also jealous of the fact that I was getting along with every single person from Big Brother Canada, and they loved me, and I was getting along with everyone there pretty much, except for like the last night me and Jesse got into it. But that was it, and I think that she was just kind of jealous, to be honest with you, and I think it was about Peter.
Wow.
I mean, it's a full show. I mean, it's literally turned in like to 1,000 tweets. We've been reading all over the place.
She's nuts. That girl just wants followers. That's all it is.
Well, there we go. Another question for you too. just looking at your Twitter, not that we're stalking your Twitter, but like, you know.
Of course we are.
What's going on with you and Russell Hantz? Are like the villains from the show all hanging out with each other? I know you guys are doing something. It's a Walker's 5K. Why don't you tell us about that and what is going on with that?
Yeah, we're doing a charity event in, oh my gosh, I can't even remember, Virginia. And it's just going to be him and I think we're the special guests. I think there's a few other people too, but he invited me to do it, and it sounded like an awesome time, so we're going to do it. Well,
perfect. I mean, you know, I love Russell. He's like one of my besties.
He's very fun.
Hey, so
I do too. He's so funny.
We do have some questions that are coming up on our chat roll. I'm not sure who this is, but it says, 23 is not a baby. Being young is an excuse. Did you learn anything from this experience, and what will you take away from this?
Yeah, I'm not a baby, but I did learn a lot because I kind of have grown up in a bubble. So being exposed to this and seeing what my words have done has really shown me how serious it is. And it's really shown me that I need to have a much more open mind, and I need to be a lot more respectful because I respect people of all races, and I respect people who are gay, straight, alike. And I hate that I made myself into that person. And in the house, and I guess outside of the house too, because I don't want to be that person. I want to have friends of all different races and all different sexualities, and so it's really opened my eyes, and I think that it's making me a much more open-minded person, and I think that my friends and family are also learning from this.
Well, I think that was a really good answer.
Yeah.
And I also think that, you know, I think it's fair to say that a lot of people may not believe you, which it's fine. You have this, again, opportunity to make people believe you and to live your best life and grow from this. And we want to thank you for calling in and being stand-up, and there's nothing to worry about here. And we wish you nothing but the best, and we hope that you really do turn this around. And we look forward to hearing and seeing more from you in the future.
Yeah, we wish you the best.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Bye, Aaryn.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. That was Miss Aaryn. Very controversial player from this last season.
She's going to make it up in life. Like, you know, people forgive.
Right. I mean, obviously there's redemption. I mean, President Bill Clinton. I mean, there's been like a lot of people who've done some very controversial things. And
I was just talking about him yesterday.
And I'm not saying a blowjob is in comparison to being a racist. I mean, everyone, you know what I mean? But
and I think she just didn't understand.
Let me say myself. I was raised in a cult. I know this sounds crazy, in San Diego.
You were?
Yes. And so I had a completely distorted, different view of how the world worked. And I didn't actually get out of the cult until I was 21 years old. So I didn't even know what being gay was. I didn't know here I am gay, and I didn't even know what it was. Like, I was very, very naive, and like I came from this crazy background. If you take a snapshot of me at 23, like I was a nightmare. Like I was a horrible person, very judgmental, because that's just how I was raised. And like, I'm not that person anymore. And you kind of grow up. But it's hard when you're on a television show like this, you know, because people, you know, hide behind their computer screen, hide behind their Twitter, and people are allowed to be emotional about this. This is what the television show's for. You do this sort of show, you're going to get the scrutiny that comes with it. You say ridiculous things like this, you're going to get the scrutiny that goes with it, and it's going to last with you a lifetime. I mean, just so you know what she's going to have to pay for this, every time she does an interview from here till the end of time, they're going to ask her about this. I bet you when she goes and gets job interviews, they're going to ask her about this, because you Google the new people that come in, and you know, so this is going to be something that's going to be with her the rest of her life, and so she is going to have to pay the consequences for that for the rest of her life.
I think it's just about like offending others and like a lot of people. Like, it was a huge group of people that she offended, so that's why it's such a
And you
big
can tell she was
deal.
uncomfortable. I mean, look at Andy. Like when he was talking to us on the phone, like he was like talking like Barack Obama, like 15 minutes. You only get one question in. And Aaryn, she's very, very short. You can tell she's nervous and everything else. So I hope she turns around. I hope she does some good in the world.
I think she's going to prove us that.
I don't know. She's hanging out with Russell Hantz. I mean, that's trouble. I love Russell.
Hello.
Who's on the phone? Kaitlin.
Hey, Kaitlin.
Oh, my Lord. They just pop on real quick here at the AfterBuzz Show. You're on air with Ryan and Ashley. Thanks for calling in. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How does it feel to be the most beautiful woman in the house this season?
The Megan Fox.
Oh, I would have saved that. We had a great looking cast.
No, you did have some hotties on the show, but you were definitely the smoking girl for sure.
Thank you very much.
So how much of the season have you watched so far? I mean, clearly, you know, you were out of the house. I'm sure you watched every week, but did you go back and watch all your prior episodes of you on the show?
No.
You
no,
haven't?
I probably watched the first 3 and I thought it was really weird, so I shut it off.
That's-
But I watched every
bizarre.
live eviction after I left.
Have you watched any of the controversial scenes that that you were privy to?
Kind of.
Haven't really gone there yet.
Kind of. I'm sorry, what?
You haven't really gone there yet?
No, not very. I've seen that episode where we're like sitting on the hammock.
Right.
That's about it.
Why do you think that they considered you a part of the Mean Girls? Were you just guilty by association, or like what happened there, and like what do you want to say about that whole thing? Because clearly you're in that group of the Mean Girls.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it worked out perfect because it's 2 blondes and a brunette, and I'm Gretchen Wieners, you know.
Exactly.
But I don't know. I had one bad night with Jesse, and that's what they aired on the bed. And I was only in the house for a short period of time, so
Right.
that's the side that they got of me. I really didn't get that much airtime, so that's the small bit that they put in there, and so I look like a brat. I really do.
Well, looking back too, just at your gameplay, because you know, even though you were there a short time, you were considered a strong competitor. Do you think, looking back, you should have thrown any of the competitions so that you didn't look as strong as you were, because you were considered a threat right away?
I know, and it sucks, but no, I don't think it's really in me to throw anything.
Right.
I had a weak social game, and I think that's where it really got me, but I don't know. I aligned with the wrong side of the house.
Yeah.
It was really divided this year.
Do you regret your showmance with Jeremy?
I wouldn't say that I regret it, but it definitely brought me down a little bit.
Well, we got to talk about Jeremy.
I mean, every showmance does. I'm surprised Amanda and McGuire made it for so long.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about the showmance a little bit, because you know Jeremy.
Yes, of course.
Tons of tattoos. He's a tall guy. You were, you know, his woman at his side, and you guys look like you had a lot of fun in the house. But like, what went on in Vegas? There's rumors circulating all over the place that like you threw him out of the party, and like you work at the place. Like, what happened there?
Oh.
So first of all, just for the viewers to know, there was a rap party in Los Angeles, and there was another Big Brother party in Las Vegas, and you live in Vegas, correct?
Yes. So James and I James more
Ryan.
than me, but we planned this event. James Ryan, yes, from 6 and 7. We planned this event. I had literally been drinking all day. I think a lot of people had been,
and in Los Angeles too.
What? I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, and in Los Angeles, we had a full night in LA.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, that night was amazing as well. But I don't know. We had just been drinking all day. I think things kind of just got a little out of hand towards the end of the night, and I don't know. I was just drunk, and both of us made mistakes, and I was kind of just like over it, and I kind of kicked him out of the party.
Alcohol definitely heightens emotions. What are you gonna do?
But what happened? Did you actually throw him out of the party?
Not me personally. I mean, we were kind of just. I didn't really like the way he was talking to me, so I just had security grab him.
Oh my god.
Nice.
That's awesome. So
I mean, I wasn't being an angel myself, so it was the both of us, but
needless
I work at the place, so it's kind of just like on a power trip. You know what I mean?
So needless to say that Jeremy Kaitlin showmance died a quick death at a club in Las Vegas. Is that true?
No. We just
good.
had a bad night. We're still talking. We both apologized to each other. I think that we just need to work on communication.
Oh, that's sweet. Good.
Where does he lives in Houston, right? Yeah, he lives in Houston. So we have a question for you from guest 844 at our chat roll. They want to know, why do you try to blame your racial stance on Aaryn when you said similar comments alone with Jeremy?
Okay, the only time that I blamed anything on Aaryn by being guilty by association was when I first came out of the house. And I was not prepped. I was unaware of anything that was going on in the real world. And then when I came onto Twitter and I realized I saw clips of what I was saying and things like that, and I took full blame and I apologized. I still am still apologizing to this day for everything that I said and offended anybody. So I don't blame anything on Aaryn at all.
So where did these comments come from then? Do you consider yourself a racist? Were you kidding? Were you just, what exactly, where did that come from?
I mean, when I look back on it, anything that I said was not malicious. There was certain comments that were terrible now that I look back on it. and I was never kidding. I mean, that's like a horrible way to put it.
Right.
But you know what I mean? I wasn't trying to hurt anybody at all. There was one comment that I made towards Candace about when we were all fighting. I said her black side was coming out. The only reason that I even brought that up is because Candace told the entire house all the time that she had a white side and a black side. When she got feisty, it was her black side. And I would never have had that in my head or said that unless, you know what I mean, like she put it in my head that she had that.
Right.
It wasn't my entire thought process that I made it up. You know what I mean? Like she was just getting in everybody's face, and that's what I said. And it was terrible, and I apologized to her and her mother for the things that her mom had to go through and watch. Well, because it wasn't just me that Candace got bashed. You know what I mean?
Right. What was
when you're in there, you forget that other people's families are watching, and that broke my heart coming out of the house.
What did the mother say to you?
I mean, she kind of like brushed it off. I don't think that she's going to be very upfront with me about it, but you know what I mean? I just hugged her and I apologized, and she was just like, it's okay.
Do you have a relationship with Candace now, or?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Are you and Candace do you guys speak regularly now? Like, what's your relationship with Candace now?
I mean, I hugged her and apologized at the finale. I haven't really talked to her since. I haven't talked to a lot of the house guests because I'm trying to like let them decompress.
Right.
A little bit. The only people I've seen or talked to are people from the people that came to the rap party. That's about it.
We have another question for you from Twitter.
Yeah.
BB15Addict14 just wants to know if you're not over Jeremy, then why did you unfollow him on Twitter? That's a sheer sign. Ask Miley. Ask Miley Cyrus.
Okay, when I was angry, I just like didn't. I mean, he was kind of like tweeting subliminal messages to me, and I just didn't want to see it pop up on my news feed. Everybody can stop freaking out. I'll refollow him. I just didn't want to see him on my feed.
Subliminal messages. That's great.
You know, he's up after you, so you know, I'll tell him to look forward to a follow from Kaitlin later today.
Oh God.
Great.
So listen, we want to play a quick game with you to make a little light in here. We're gonna play a rapid fire game. I'm gonna name some of the contestants in the house, and I want you to say one word, the first word that pops to mind, and give us your answer. Okay?
Oh gosh, this is gonna be a lose-lose, isn't it?
Yes. All right. Nick.
Nick is fantastic.
Helen
surprised me how she can turn on the tears. Surprised me.
Howard.
Howard is a very good, strong, religious man.
David. It's supposed to be one word, Kaitlin. Get with the program.
I'm sorry.
David.
David is goofy.
Aaryn.
Egotistical.
Spencer.
Interesting.
Candace.
That was a cute giggle. Candace. Beautiful.
Elissa.
She's a very strong woman, too.
Amanda.
Hilarious. I don't know.
Well, perfect.
I'm trying to be nice.
Well, thanks for playing and not being honest with your one-word answers, but we will take it anyways, Kaitlin.
It was a pleasure meeting you at all of the parties, and thank you for Vegas.
I barely got to see you.
I know. You know, I was like a really big fan of yours, and then I got nervous.
Ashley was very, very drunk at the party, so like we all were.
Okay, weren't we all?
Yeah, I think I wasn't wearing a shirt. Well, thank you, Rachel Riley.
Oh, man.
Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it, and we hopefully will see you soon in the future.
Thank you very much. You guys
Bye,
have a good night.
Kaitlin. Good luck.
Take care. All right, well, that was Kaitlin Barnaby.
Yeah.
Hottie McHottie. Lordy, it's just so, there's
I feel
so
quiet
much.
today.
I know. Well,
and like kind of, I feel at a loss for words, like I'm stuttering.
Do you know why? Because it's just kind of awkward because there's so many uncomfortable questions we're having to ask everybody. And it's like, it's hard to like then switch it around and be funny and like talk. I mean, because I could slam them for being a racist and saying stupid comments all day long. We both can.
Right.
But
I think the whole world has done that to them.
It's like, it's kind of like we need to like ask something else next. I mean, they apologize. You either accept it or you don't. If you don't like them,
Unfollow them.
Right, unfollow them and watch another podcast. I mean, we're
Yeah.
gonna ask questions, but we're also gonna people make mistakes.
Yeah.
And so at least that's how I view things here
They
too.
do.
If I thought someone was still a complete racist, I wouldn't be funny with them afterwards or like try to ask other
Of
questions.
course, I know you, and you have a sharp tongue, and you'd be very mean.
I bet. Do we have Jeremy on the line?
You do.
Hey, Jeremy,
Hey.
welcome to AfterBuzz. You are live with Ryan and Ashley, the AfterBuzz show,
Hello.
Big Brother 15. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are y'all?
You know, we're having a full day of interviews today. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. A couple questions for you. How much of the show have you seen? I mean, obviously, when you got out of the house, you probably watched every week and, got on Twitter and everything else. But did you go back and watch all of your episodes that you were on, that short time you were on?
Correct. Yes, I did. I went back and watched them all, even most of the After Darks. The only one I haven't seen yet is the finale night.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, he was on it. What were your impressions of the show, how you were portrayed, and all of that?
I wasn't too shocked. I mean, I know what I do, and I take, full responsibility of all my actions. I was kind of shocked by my thick accent. I didn't realize how country bumpkin I sounded.
Oh,
But, yeah, I mean, other than that, some things were said that I am not so, proud of, and that, I can only say I apologize for. But other than that, I was just being myself. I was in competition mode, and, I was playing the game hard. I was trying to intimidate, and, I may have played a little too hard.
Well, we can't have a Big Brother 15 interview without having an apology. We were just discussing that. You all are crazy in that house.
Yeah.
What was your family's reaction to some of the quote unquote bullying, mean stuff that was going on with you in the house, and you coming in guns blazing?
lots of Winegate stories.
Yeah. What was their reaction? Were they disappointed in you? Were they like you were just playing a game, or what was?
My mom was never disappointed in me. She's been my supporter, my biggest one since day one. She was definitely nervous going through the show because she knows I have a hard time filtering what I say. But she knows I'm not a bully, and she knows I'm not, any of those crazy things that I've been called. And she stands behind me 100%. She's been awesome, and I love her to death for
That's
it.
beautiful.
She definitely gave me a little tap on the back of the head.
Yeah.
You should have done that. But other than that, she was proud.
So what do you think?
She just had to get home as quick as I did. She didn't want me to get into any trouble.
Yeah. What do you think what was your biggest regret, biggest mistake you think you made gameplay of why you were out of the house so early?
Well, I don't regret anything. Everything happens for a reason, and I was blessed just to have the opportunity, so I don't regret anything. My biggest downfall in the game was, not trying to play with Elissa and trying to play the game, more socially. I was definitely thinking I could win my way through, and so I wasn't really worried about anybody because nobody was really competition for me in the competition aspect of the game. So, I would have changed my strategy a little bit. I would have tried to work with Elissa and, maybe pick different alliances and not trust who I did trust. So.
Well, that's kind of in line with what one of our chat roll people just asked. They want to know if you regret not including females in your quote-unquote moving company, especially Amanda, because she was so smart and strategic.
No, I would never want to be aligned with Amanda because she would try and run the show, and, I'm the champ of this game. So
clearly you're the champ.
Even though I didn't win the war, I won a lot of battles that I was in. And, I do wish I would have worked with girls in the moving company and maybe left out the girls that we had in our moving company.
What was it like socially, in the house? I mean, clearly there was, a lot of shenanigans, but just that aside, what was it like living with everyone from different backgrounds, different upbringings? Did you guys have some real moments with people and make some real friendships? And who are you most closest to now in the house?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed everything in that house. I mean, aside from all the drama, I left the house, I felt like, on a good note. I was friends with everybody. I didn't realize, and I still don't, if there is anybody who doesn't like me in the house. It was great meeting everybody and seeing everybody's different perspective, and it gave me a new perspective on things. And
do you feel like a changed person after doing an experience like this?
Of course, you can't help but grow in that house. I mean, it teaches you so much so fast that you're forced to grow up. I mean, you have to. You're sharing one bathroom with 16 people. I mean, you figure things out pretty quick, and it gives you a new outlook on things, or at least it did for me, and I can only speak for myself when I speak. So I wouldn't take it or change it for the world. And as far as being close with people, I mean, I'm close with several people. Me and David are really close. Me and Judd are really close. Me and Howard have been becoming closer buddies. I'm on good terms with everybody, I thought. So
what about your
and
love?
Me and Kaitlin too. We're still talking, working on things. It's rough being so far apart and whatnot, but we're still talking. So.
Well, let's just spill the tea here, because we just got off the phone with Kaitlin, because Kaitlin was right before you, and she just described what happened in Vegas, thrown out of the club, mistakes on both sides. She unfollowed you on Twitter, but she did wanted me to tell you that she is going to be following you again by the end of the day. So what are your thoughts?
She unfollowed me on Twitter.
Oh no, you didn't even know.
Well, she unfollowed you, but she'll be right back today, so don't worry about it.
That's hilarious.
So what happened in Vegas? Was it just too much drinking and you all just got a little bit crazy?
I just can I drop the "It's none of your business" card?
You could plead the fifth.
I like that.
I plead the fifth.
My favorite was when you guys would do dirty dancing in the house. I loved you guys together.
I think that's when my heart melted for us. Whenever I got the first good one going, and I was like, "Oh, this is my girl. She fits in my arms."
Yeah.
So,
well,
that was my favorite part too.
Well, if things don't work out with you and Kaitlin, just so you know, because I know you like to date Big Brother people, Ashley is newly single.
My God.
He has size 14 shoe, Ashley.
I
just
know,
so you know.
but he's taken by my favorite, so
But just in case, there's another girl here waiting for you, and
Moving on.
But anyways, we want to thank you for calling in. You're a stand-up guy. It was really good meeting you this weekend, and you actually, my perception of you on television was completely different than you were in real life. I think you're a great guy.
Yeah, you're a gem in real life, so
we had a
everybody,
blast.
FYI.
Guys, I had a great time with all of y'all, and I appreciate y'all having me on this.
And your mom should be proud of you.
And I want to say this too. I don't know who drinks Long Island iced teas anymore, but good luck with that.
Oh my gosh, no comment. I plead the fifth again.
All right, man. You take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, Jeremy.
Alrighty, bye.
He's so funny.
I know. He's actually like a really stand-up great guy.
Let's give a shout out to Mertz, who's watching, because we're giving great interviews over here. He has a great podcast too. Have you watched his show?
Yes, I was on his show last year.
Mertz has never had me on his show. What the hell?
Mertz!
Jesus, we throw parties together. We're famous, and I'm not even on his show.
Hashtag
Jesus,
famous.
Mertz. All right, so now we just got one more interview coming up. It's going to be quick to get the 411 on what really happened in Vegas.
Oh, yes.
Liza from Big Brother Canada. Did you watch Big Brother Canada?
I did not. I did not.
You just don't have time for such a thing.
I ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
So what do you think so far?
You've reached 647.
Oh.
Oh, no.
She's not answering.
We don't do answering machines.
We don't do it. We will leave if she doesn't answer, we're going to leave a scathing message online and get completely crazy.
We'll try one more time.
All right, we're trying one more time.
No, we have to get the tea. I just learned what tea was from you.
Well, I don't know how you just are learning that.
Like, what does tea stand for? Guys, I don't know. Maybe I'm not hip with the lingo.
Tea means a few things. Tea means, like, what's the tea? Like, what's the gossip? Like.
Right, but why tea?
Well, that's just a slogan. Why anything?
Why swag?
Why is a bed called a bed? I mean, it's for no reason.
Okay.
I think everything.
Hey.
Is she on the line?
Hey. Hi.
We were ready to leave you a scathing message.
Oh, I am here.
Well, you are on air live with Ryan and Ashley, and we need a full report of what happened in Vegas because clearly there's shenanigans going on. We've talked to Aaryn on the line earlier. So, like, what happened in Vegas? Nothing stays in Vegas at the AfterBuzz show. So go ahead and tell us what went down.
Honestly, I need to rebuttal. Aaron's first attack on me was that apparently I approached her saying I wanted to F her, and she rejected me.
What?
Honestly, we know that Aaron doesn't reject anything.
When you mean F her, you mean have sex with her?
Yeah, she claims that she said that on Dick at Night that I was like, hi, I'm Liza, feel like banging? And she said no thanks, and that's why I'm angry because I was rejected. No offense, Ashley, but blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls aren't my thing. Kaitlin, hell yes. Jesse, hell yes. Amanda, hell yes.
but I did not ask Aaryn to bang. Like, Aaryn literally thinks everybody wants her. Like, she's the center of the freaking universe, and it's pathetic. 2, I hear she just claimed to you guys that I was jealous of her friendship with Peter, and that's why I'm attacking her. Listen, broad, I've known Peter a while now. Like, we were in the house together. Our friendship is our thing. Plus, that's all we are, friends. If anyone's going to be upset at Aaron's behavior with Peter, it should be Cara Monaco, the girl he was dating at the time. So honey, so don't tell me I'm jealous of you and Peter.
So Liza, so let's break it down for people who don't know all these people that are our listeners. Like, so what's the gist of the issue, do you think?
The gist of the issue is that I went into Vegas with honestly an open heart and an open mind. I don't care how these people behaved in the house. I was excited to get to know the real them. Judd is spectacular. Jesse is perfection. You know, I'm already friends with Kaitlin, Jeremy, Nick. Like, these are all people I adore. I gave Aaryn a fair chance, and she disappointed me. Aaryn, like, she was with David in the house, right? We'd call that her showman. And then there's tons of footage her saying that she wanted to F Jeremy as soon as she got out of the house. But no. She's in a showmance with Judd. Doesn't she get out of the house and she is going after Peter, and then, oh, no, wait, now Jesse wants Alex, so we better sleep in Alex's bed.
Oh
Aaryn just wants what she thinks everyone else wants. Like, she wants to be the center of attention. And
we need a map of, like,
right?
It's like
This is
there's
a
this
spider
to
web.
this and a line to
I have a
here to here
headache.
to this. It's just a lot.
No, it's a lot. I'm sorry. Wait, so who are you effing, Aaryn? Was it David, your showman, or was it Jeremy you wanted to bang? She went up to Jeremy and Kaitlin in front of Kaitlin and said, "Oh, Jeremy, did you hear on the feeds I wanted to F you?" How disrespectful are you?
I say bang them all.
The only reason she wants Judd is because she's convinced Jesse wants him. I will tell you that Judd and Jesse are both amazing people, but Jesse isn't after Judd at all. Like, that's not what's going on here.
Well,
Aaryn,
what is going on here? Who does she want to F?
Aaryn, everybody. Or she at least has convinced herself that everyone wants to have her, apparently including me.
So what do you say to what do you say to the people online? Because I've read on Twitter, you know, that there's obviously a lot of supporters saying that you're just doing this for attention. You're trying to get more followers.
Followers? Everything got skewed because it was a bonus. Like, listen, I was at the rap party in Vegas, and after Aaryn screamed in Jesse's face and really upset her, a girl, like, I drove to Vegas with Jessie and I was rooming with her, and I really like her. So watching, like, Aaryn, I'm going to get so much trouble with this, by the way. Here's my disclaimer, that I totally respect CBS, and I totally respect Allison Grodner, and I totally respect casting, and I respect the Big Brother franchise, but I do not respect Aaryn, and I don't believe I should have to. So that being said, I literally saw pure evil in those blue eyes. I personally, in my humble little opinion, think Aaryn is a terrible human being who actually likes to inflict emotional pain on others. The way I saw her go after Jesse looked like the devil, looked like Satan, like stomping on a common person. I don't care what was actually said. It was not a fight over Judd. Don't get it twisted, honey. The evil look in her eye when she went at Jesse.
Right? This is at the bank. This is all happening at the club.
Oh, it was right before. Well,
why didn't we go to Vegas?
Right before we stepped in the club.
I went to Vegas, but I missed that party.
Where were you?
I had to leave early.
You're so embarrassing.
To defend myself, I suppose, like, I don't really care. Like, I was really excited to welcome these new people into the family and mainly to be around my friends. A lot of people from Big Brother Canada came. And I walked into the bar after Aaryn had done that to Jesse, and I was like, you know what? I'm not okay with this. I'm not okay with your behavior, and frankly, I wasn't okay with a lot of people's behavior, including some of my own cast. And I'm literally standing there feeling alone at the rap party because I just couldn't accept a lot of things that were going on. So I leave. I left alone without making a scene. I just walked out of the rap party. No one cared about me anyways, which is fine. I went back to the hotel. I unfollowed Aaryn from Twitter, and I wrote one tweet, 140 characters. It wasn't to get attention. It wasn't to get followers. I did not even hashtag or at anybody. I didn't tag or hashtag anybody. It just was me venting my distaste for a horrific human being. And to say I did that for attention or followers is like cray.
Take a breath, honey. Well, that's Liza with the full Big Brother Las Vegas report. We're running out of time. Thank you for calling in. We love you, and I'm sure we're going to hear more from you on Twitter. Where can people find you on Twitter?
It was so good meeting you.
Where can people find you on Twitter? Because clearly you're entertaining.
Well, at Liza Stinton, because apparently I want tons of followers. So tell all your friends to follow me, because that's all I care about in life.
Wow. So there we go.
You know what? I love how your cast is all close, though. I think that's really cool.
That happens with some
Oh my
seasons.
goodness. Honestly, we're a huge family. Like, Big Brother Canada really, like, is united and stuck together. We had such a beautiful cast of such wonderful people. It's sort of hard not to. So come at me, bro. Come at me.
Come at me, bro.
Woo!
Hashtag. Well, thanks for calling in, and we will chat with you soon.
Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, never a dull moment with that one.
Oh, wow. That's the tea, kids.
Well, that was the tea, and wow.
I think I, like, spaced out there for a minute.
Well, this has been a very, very long show. We got to get out of here. Where can people find you on Twitter, Ashley?
Ashley Iocco. I love you guys.
And everybody, we want to thank you for tuning in for a very interesting special edition of AfterBuzz TV. We can't wait to hear your comments. I don't even know.
Comment. We'll see you next year, maybe.
So much going on. We might even do another one of these. We should need to get Amanda, McCrae.
Oh my God, Miranda won't come on.
I know, they hate us. All right, well, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for making this season an amazing season. And again, we love all your comments, love all your participation, and we will see you next time. You can find me on Twitter, Ryan A. Carrillo, Carrillo. I also do Survivor on Wednesdays at 9, so come check us out.
Are you loving the show?
Oh my God, Blood vs. Water is really, really good.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, people, take care.
Peace.
Love ya.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. Hello.
Buzz you later.
She's a mess.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.